Right now I'm validating a list of Australian phone numbers to find out which ones are real, and I didn't pay even 1 cent for these numbers, because I generated them myself. What you're seeing on your screen is FRANKIFY, going through every number I generated with the SMS phone number generator, one by one. It tells me which ones are real, which ones are landlines, which ones are dead and disconnected, and for the live ones, it tells me the carrier that produced that number. And it doesn't stop at Australia. FRANKIFY validates for over 230 countries worldwide. Now let me tell you why this step is the whole game. Because this is the step everybody skips. If you're a marketer, you already know how hard it is to get targeted leads, so what do? You go and pay somebody for a list, and they tell you it's fresh, they tell you it's verified, they tell you it's targeted. Then you load that file up, and half of it is dead, disconnected numbers, landlines that can't even receive an SMS, numbers that were sold to 20 other people before it ever reached you. So you send your campaign, and nothing comes back. No replies, nothing. And now you're sitting there thinking your offer is weak. Your offer is not the problem. Your list is the problem. And you already do this with email, don't you? You validate your email list first before you send anything. Same thing with phone numbers, except here it's worse. Send to numbers that don't exist, and you don't just waste the send. You get your sender flagged and shut down. So you need to always validate first, and FRANKIFY is the best tool I have found for that. So in this video, I'll show you how to generate your own phone number leads for any country, completely free, then validate them with FRANKIFY. So what you're left with is a clean file where every single number on it is real, active, and wireless. And that's a list nobody sold you. You built it yourself, you verified it yourself, and it didn't cost you a thing to make. Now both of the tools I'm using are on my own website, so if you want to follow along with me, go to sendmos.com right now, and open it up in another tab. The phone number generator and FRANKIFY, everything I'm touching in this video is sitting on that one website, sendmos.com. So whether you're doing CPA marketing, affiliate offers, lead generation, or you're an agency running this for clients, if you need to reach real people on their phones, this is for you. And if you're new to this channel, kindly hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon, because I have plenty of videos lined up you don't want to miss. Alright, let's get started. Now before I show you how to generate the numbers, let's get FRANKIFY set up first. That way, once we generate our list, we can go straight into validating it without stopping. So open your browser and search for SendMos. Then click on the first link that comes up. And this is the website right here. This is my own website, and every tool I'm showing you in this video is on here. So let's go and get FRANKIFY. Click on Products. Scroll down, and you'll see FRANKIFY sitting right there. Click on it. Now click Subscribe. It's going to ask for your email address and your full name, so put those in, and then you proceed to make the payment. I'm going to make my payment now, so let me pause the video here and I'll come right back once it's confirmed. Alright, payment confirmed. Now once your payment goes through, you're going to receive an email with all your details, including a link to set up your password, so you can log into your SendMos account. So let me head over to my email. There it is, the one that says set up your account. Click that. Then click Set Up Password. Enter your first name and last name. Set your new password, and that's going to log you straight in with FRANKIFY already sitting in your account. And quick tip, you don't have to do it in this order. You can register your account first, before you even make the purchase, and then the subscription just drops into the account you already have. Either way works. So there you have it. That's my FRANKIFY subscription, sitting right there in my account. Now the next thing we need is the key that activates the tool. So click on the Subscriptions tab. Or you can just click on FRANKIFY directly, and it opens your subscription page. And right here, you'll see your API key. Now, don't let the name confuse you. On this page it says API key, but when you open FRANKIFY, the tool is going to ask you for your license key. It's actually the same thing. This is what you paste in, so keep this page open, because we're coming back for it in a minute. But first, let's download the tool. Click on Download FRANKIFY. Now you're going to see a pop-up modal of instructions here. And I know most people scroll past this, but read it, because it saves you a headache later. The main thing is this FRANKIFY tool is a Windows-only application. So if you're on a Mac, it will not run. You'll need an RDP for it. And honestly, even if you're on Windows, I would still tell you to use an RDP. Not because there's anything wrong with the tool. It's clean and it runs fine on your own computer. It's because of how long validation takes. A big list runs for hours, sometimes overnight. And if it's running on your PC, that means your PC has to stay on the whole time. You close the laptop, you lose power, and it stops. On an RDP, you hit Start, close the window, go and sleep, and it keeps running without you. So if you already have an RDP, go ahead and use that. But for anyone who has no idea what an RDP is, or how to get one, let me walk you through how to get one that's affordable and renewable. Head over to your browser and go to sendmos.com/RDP. Use that link because that's the one that carries the discount. When you land there, it takes you straight to RDP Monster. That's who I use, and I struck a deal with them specifically for you guys. Your coupon code is FRANKMOS10, and that's 10% off. So on their site, click on Offers, then click Buy Windows VPS. Now look at these prices. This is honestly the cheapest part of this whole setup. Pick any plan you can afford. The basic plan is more than enough to run FRANKIFY. You'll see you can choose your location too. Europe, USA, wherever. Just leave it on default, it doesn't affect your validation. Now here's the part I want you to pay attention to. When you get to the billing cycle, you'll see monthly and quarterly. Take the quarterly, it's 3 months for a much better price, and trust me, once you start validating properly, you're not going to want to give this thing up after 30 days. And your 10% coupon still applies on top of that. So select quarterly, then scroll down, click where it says have a promo code, and enter FRANKMOS10 to get your 10% off, just like that. Keep scrolling, and under Operating System, select Windows Server 2022. You want the latest version, don't pick anything older. Then if you already have an account with them, just log in. If you don't, select Create an Account, enter your email and password, and continue to check out. I'm going to skip ahead here. Choose whatever payment method you prefer. Make the payment, and they will send your RDP login details straight to the email you signed up with. Let me go and do that now, then we can proceed from there. Alright, payment done. And there it is, RDP Monster has sent my login details to my email. Your IP address, your username, your password, everything you need. Now before we log in, let me explain what this thing actually is. Because if this is your first time hearing RDP, it can sound complicated. It's not. An RDP is just a computer. A Windows computer, exactly like the one you're using right now. The only difference is that it's not sitting on your desk. It's sitting in a data center somewhere, running 24 hours a day, and you're controlling it through a window on your screen. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's a second computer that never sleeps. And that's exactly why we want it. Because when you start validating thousands of numbers, that process runs for hours, sometimes overnight. If you run it on your own laptop, your laptop has to stay awake the entire time. You close it, you lose power, your internet drops, everything stops and you start again. On the RDP, you just have to close the window, and you can shut your own computer down completely, and go to sleep. And while your PC is off, the RDP machine keeps working all night without you. You wake up, log back in, and your results are sitting there waiting for you. So that's why an RDP is highly recommended for this. Now remember we downloaded FRANKIFY earlier from the SendMos subscription page. If you haven't done that yet, go and do it now, because we need to move the FRANKIFY file into the RDP. So let's log into the RDP. And to do that, on your Windows search bar, type Remote Desktop and open it. Enter the IP address they sent you in that email, and click Connect. Then it will ask for your username and password. Those are in the same email. Put them in, and click OK. And there you go. You are inside the RDP. That window you're looking at right now is a whole separate computer, and that's what we call a remote desktop. Now let's get FRANKIFY inside the RDP. And if you hover at the top of the screen, you will see a small bar with your IP address on it, and a minimize, maximize, and close button. Minimize it for now so you can return to your personal computer. So to transfer any file from your PC into the RDP, it's just a copy and paste. You copy the file, then open your RDP and paste. As simple as that. So go to the FRANKIFY file you downloaded on your own computer and copy it. Then go back into your RDP. Right-click on the desktop and paste. That's it. Copy on your machine, paste on the RDP. It works exactly like moving a file between two folders. Now we need one more thing inside the RDP, and that's WinRAR. That's just the tool that opens zipped files. You probably already have it on your own computer, but the RDP is fresh, so it doesn't. So open the Chrome browser inside your RDP. Search for WinRAR. Click the first link, then download it and install. Takes about 30 seconds. Once that's installed, right-click on the FRANKIFY file and extract it. Now when you open the folder and run FRANKIFY for the first time, Windows is going to throw a warning at you. You will see a blue box that says Windows protected your PC. Don't panic, and don't close it. Let me explain what that actually means, because most people see that message and assume the file is dangerous. It's not. Windows shows that message when a program doesn't have what's called a signing certificate. That's a certificate developers buy from Microsoft so Windows recognizes their software. It costs money, it has to be renewed, and brand new applications usually don't have one yet. So Windows isn't telling you the file is bad. Windows is telling you it doesn't recognize it. Those are two completely different things. FRANKIFY is clean. So click More Info. Then click Run Anyway, and you're good to go. Now FRANKIFY is open, and the first thing we have to do is register. Type 2 on your keyboard and hit Enter. That's option 2, Register. Now set up your own username and password. This is yours, you choose it, and this is what you'll use to log in from now on. So let me put my username in. Then my password. Next, it's going to ask you for your license key, and that's the key sitting in your SendMoss account. So head back over to SendMoss. Go to your subscription page and copy your API key. Remember what I told you earlier. SendMoss calls it your API key. FRANKIFY calls it your license key, but it's the same key. Copy it. Paste it in here and hit Enter. And by the way, we're going to rename that on the website soon so both of them just say license key, because I already know somebody is going to see API key and start panicking. So if you come back later and the name looks different, relax. Same key, nothing changed but the label. And that's it, you're registered. Now this part matters. You only ever do this once. From now on, every time you open FRANKIFY, you just press 1 to log in with the username and password you created. You never register again. So the tool is set up, but right now it's got nothing to work with. 2 things left before we can validate. We need the phone numbers themselves, and we need proxies. Let's get the numbers first. Now inside your RDP, open Chrome and search for SendMoss phone number generator. Click the first link, the one that says Free Phone Number Generator, and it takes you straight to the tool. Or if you're already logged into SendMoss, you can just click Phone Generator from your dashboard. Either way gets you to the same place. And I want to say this clearly, this tool is completely free. You don't need an account. You don't need to log in. You can generate numbers for over 200 countries right now without giving anybody a cent. So the tool is open. I'm going to generate for the United States and Australia, just to demonstrate. But take your time and do whatever country you're targeting. And notice this. You're not limited to one country. You can select multiple countries in one go and configure each one separately. So let me search for United States. Select it. Then search for Australia and select that too. Then click Next. First it takes me through the United States, and for the US, you get to pick the state you want to target. I'm going with Florida first, so I select Florida, and watch. It loads every area code for Florida. So now I pick the area codes I want there too. Now click across to Australia, and this is where it gets interesting. So watch this closely. The United States and Canada work off area codes, because that's how numbers are structured there. But every other country in the world works off carrier prefixes. Each carrier owns specific number ranges. So for Australia, instead of area codes, it's showing me carriers, and I can pick exactly which carrier I want to target. Let me be honest with you. I have not seen another phone number generator on the internet that does this. Not one. Everybody else gives you random numbers with a country code stuck on the front. This one lets you say I want Vodafone numbers, and it builds them from real Vodafone ranges. That's the difference between a random list and a targeted list. So for Australia, I'm going to target Vodafone. I select Vodafone, and it shows me all the Vodafone prefixes, and I select those I want. Then I'll add Telstra as well, and select the Telstra prefixes. So the Australian numbers I'm generating are Telstra and Vodafone only, nothing else. Now click Next. Now the quantity, and there's something here you need to understand. By default, there's a setting that says same settings for all countries. If you leave that on and you type 3000, then every country you selected gets 3000. 2 countries means 6000 numbers total. But if you want different amounts for each country, say 10,000 for the US, 5,000 for Germany, 100,000 for somewhere else, then toggle that setting off. So let me toggle it off and configure them separately. I'll select the United States and give it 2000. Then I'll select Australia and give it 3000. So altogether I'm generating 5000 numbers. If you picked multiple countries, you just go through each one and set the amount you want. Next is the format. Now pay attention here, because this one matters. Keep it on international. That's the format that includes the country code on every number, and that's what FRANKIFY needs to validate properly. You can select multiple formats if you want them for something else, but if you're validating with FRANKIFY, use international. Then click Next. And this is your export page. Here you choose whether to merge everything into one file, or download each country separately. I'm going with separate files, just to stay organized. One file for the US, one for Australia. And don't stress about this choice. Even if you merge everything into one file, FRANKIFY is smart enough to read it and group the results by country for you. So either option works. I just like keeping things clean. Then choose your file type, TXT, CSV or JSON. Leave it on the default TXT, that's what we want. And finally, click Generate and Download. There you go, 2 files, downloaded. Now rename those files to something you'll remember, because you're going to be typing these names in a minute. I'm calling mine USA and Australia. Keep it simple, one word, no spaces. Then highlight both files, right-click, then copy, and paste them inside the FRANKIFY folder. This part is important, so let me say it again. Every file you want FRANKIFY to touch has to live inside the FRANKIFY folder. Your number lists, your proxies, everything. Put it in that folder, and you'll never have a problem. Proxies fix that. A proxy is just a different internet address that your request travels through. So instead of 5,000 requests coming from one place, they get spread across hundreds of addresses. Nothing looks unusual, nothing gets blocked, and your validation runs straight through to the end. That's it. Proxies aren't an upsell. They're what keeps the tool running. Now, quick note. If you really don't want to use proxies, FRANKIFY does have option 3, and that one runs without them. But if you're validating anything serious, especially overnight, use proxies. So let's get some free ones. Head over to Send MOS. And on the page click Proxies. Or just go straight to sendmos.com/proxies and it takes you to the same place. That's going to send you to Proxy Scrape, and they'll give you a 7-day free trial with 100 free proxies to get started. So click Start Free Trial. Enter your email and password, and create your account. Now once you're logged in, we need to authenticate the IP address, and here's the key detail. Do this inside your RDP, not on your own computer. Why? Because the RDP is the machine that's going to be running the validation overnight. The proxies have to be authorized for that machine, not for your laptop. So I'm inside my RDP now, and that's where I'm going to log in into my Proxy Scrape account since I want to download the proxies straight into my RDP and use it right away. So same URL as previously we used to create the account to get the free trial. Send mos.com/proxies again and log in. Once you're in, click the Proxy List tab. You'll get an info message pop up. Click where it says Prefer IP Authentication instead. That's the option we want. Then click Add New IP. And click the My IP button. It fills in your address automatically, and because you're doing this inside the RDP, that's the RDP's address. Exactly what we want. Click Save. Now this takes up to 10 minutes to activate across their network. So let it sit, and I'm going to come back when it's done. Alright, my IP is authenticated. Now let's download the proxies. Go back to the Proxy List tab. Scroll down, and you'll see a drop-down. Click it and select IP port only. That's important. That's the exact format FRANKIFY reads. Don't pick anything else. Then hit Download. Rename that file to Proxies, and copy it into the FRANKIFY folder, right alongside your number lists. Now let me be straight with you about these free proxies. That trial gives you 100 proxies for 7 days. That's enough to follow this video and see the tool work. It is not enough to run your business on. Here's why that matters. Your proxies are the pipe your validation runs through. 100 proxies pushing thousands of numbers is a narrow pipe. It works, but it's slow, and the more you push through it, the more you feel it. So once your trial is up, upgrade. My honest recommendation is somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 proxies if you're validating regularly. And if that's more than you need right now, just pick the cheapest plan that matches how many numbers you actually plan to validate this month. Get that right, and validation stops being something you babysit. You start it, you walk away, and it's done. All right, we've got the tool, we've got the numbers, we've got the proxies. Let's validate. Open FRANKIFY. And look at the options. If you're validating United States or Canada, use option 3 or option 4. I'm using 4. If you're validating the UK, that's option 5. And for any other country in the world, that's option 6, 7, or 8. And I'll come back to those in a minute. So I'm doing the United States first. I'll type 4 and hit enter. Now it asks for the path to my list, and this is why I told you to put everything in the FRANKIFY folder, because the path is just the file name, nothing complicated. I named mine USA, so I type usa.txt and hit enter. Next it asks for the number of threads. Threads just means how many numbers it checks at the same time. Keep it between 20 and 100. I'm going with 20. Then it asks for the proxy type. If you downloaded your proxies from ProxyScrape the way I just showed you, yours are HTTP, so type HTTP and hit enter. And finally it wants your proxy file. Same thing again, it's in the FRANKIFY folder, so I will just type proxies.txt and hit enter. And there we go, look at that, it's validating. So while this runs, let me tell you what's actually happening on your screen, because it's easy to just watch numbers scroll past and miss what you're looking at. Every single number in that file is being checked against live carrier data. Not a format check, not a guess. It's asking the network, does this number exist? Who is the carrier, and is it a mobile or a landline? And every number it throws out is money you just saved, because that's a message you were about to send into nothing. That's a bounce that was about to hit your sender. That's a piece of your reputation you just protected without even knowing it. Most people never do this step. They buy a list, they blast it, they burn their sender, and then they blame the market. You're doing the opposite. You're finding out first. Now here's the RDP part paying off. This is running, and I can walk away right now. I can shut my own laptop down completely and go to sleep, and this machine keeps working all night. But listen carefully, because people get this wrong and lose their progress. Do not shut down the RDP like a normal computer. Don't go to the start menu and hit shut down. If you do that, you've turned the machine off and everything stops. All you do is close the window, hover at the top, hit the close button, and that's it. You've stepped away from the machine, but the machine keeps running. Come back tomorrow, log back in, and your results are waiting. Close the window. Never shut it down. That's the rule. Alright, the USA validation is done. Let's look at what we got. Go into the FRANKIFY folder, and you'll see a new results folder has appeared. Open that. Then open the HLR USA folder. Now watch this. Remember when I was generating, I selected Florida and New York? Look, 2 folders, one for Florida, one for New York. It's already sorted my results by state without me asking. So let me open one of them. And inside, everything is separated into categories. You'll see business VoIP, landline, residential VoIP, residential landline, and wireless. Wireless is the one you want. That folder is the real, live, active mobile numbers. That's the gold. Everything else in there is a number that exists but can't receive your text message. So all those other folders, you don't need them for SMS. Move them out of the way or clear them, and keep your wireless folder. Now let's go inside wireless, because there's one more layer. Look at this! The files in here are split by carrier. T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. FRANKIFY hasn't just told you which numbers are real, it's told you exactly which network each one sits on. And I want you to remember that, because at the end of this video I'm going to show you exactly why that carrier information is worth more than you think right now. So let me open T-Mobile. And every single one of those numbers is real. Let me open AT&T. And it's exactly the same thing there. That's your list. Save that wireless folder somewhere safe. That's what you mark it to. Now let's do a country outside the United States. Head back into FRANKIFY, and this time we're using the worldwide validators. Like I said, US and Canada is option 3 or 4, UK is option 5, and for worldwide, you've got options 6, 7, and 8. 3 different worldwide validators, each hitting different data sources, so if one comes back weak on a country, you switch to another and run it again. But my honest recommendation, and the one I use, option 6. It's the most accurate of the 3. So I'm validating the Australian numbers we generated. Type 6 and hit enter. It asks for the file path. Mine is australia.txt, so I will type that and hit enter. Then it asks for the proxy file path. I renamed my file proxies, so I will type proxies.txt and hit enter. Then it asks for the proxy type, and just like the USA list, mine is HTTP, so I type HTTP and hit enter. Then it asks for the number of threads, and I'm going with 20 again, same as I did before. And it's running. Look at that. It's skipping the dead ones and showing you the real ones as it goes. Same as before. Once it's done, your results land in that same results folder. Alright, it's finished. Press enter, and let's go back to the FRANKIFY folder and open results. Inside, you'll see a folder stamped with the date and time of that run. Open it, and everything is grouped by country. I only validated Australia, so that's the only one in here. Let me open Australia. And now look at this closely. When I was generating these numbers, what did I select? Vodafone and Telstra, nothing else. And look at the results. Vodafone and Telstra, the exact carriers I targeted, confirmed on live numbers, so that's the full loop closing right there. I chose the carriers, the generator built the numbers from real carrier ranges, and FRANKIFY confirmed those numbers are real and sitting on those exact networks. Now let me be honest with you, because I don't like overselling anything. FRANKIFY is a tool, and no tool on earth is 100%, but from everything I've run through it, I'd put it around 95% accuracy. And in this game, 95% against a raw list is the difference between a campaign that works and a campaign that doesn't. And this works for over 230 countries. Germany, Finland, Nigeria, Brazil, anywhere. Generate the numbers on SendMoss, validate them with FRANKIFY, and you've got a clean, targeted, carrier-sorted list that nobody sold you. Now before we finish up, let me make a quick announcement for those of you who have been following this channel for a while. You'll notice that in most of my older videos, I was sending you to franksarena.com. That website is no more. Frank's Arena has evolved into SendMoss, and this is the new home for everything. But don't worry, because nothing was lost. If you had an account on Frank's Arena, every order you placed, every product you bought, all of it is preserved, and it's waiting for you right here on SendMoss. And if you visit franksarena.com today, it just redirects you here and tells you the same thing. When you land on that page, click the button that says, I have a Frank's Arena account. Enter the same email you used before, and you'll be able to set a new password. Once you're in, everything you owned is sitting there in your dashboard exactly as you left it. So nothing is gone. It just moved. So that's the whole system, from nothing to a validated list. One more thing while we're here, and then I'll let you go. We've also got a numbers tool on SendMoss where you can get a number to receive a verification code, and it covers over 6,000 services. It's there if you ever need it. But the full email to SMS breakdown, start to finish, that's the next video. Connecting your accounts, uploading a list, and sending. So subscribe and turn that bell on, because that one drops soon, and you're going to want to be there for it. You can find all the links in the description of this video, from FRANKIFY link, RDP link with the coupon and the URL, to get the free trial for the proxies too. Go build your list. I'll see you in the next one.